Speaking to ministers before of the population being given their double...
No air conditioning, and mum and dad's...
And don't forget there were smoking seats in an aeroplane right in front of the smoking games. OK, Dr Amir, thanks. Track the variants, aren't we, just to work out exactly what's going on. And what about this news that the Pfizer vaccine seems to offer less protection? The Pfizer vaccine is the one that we think is going to be offered more first and doing all they can to lift the restrictions they can by then. Let's have something to cheer us up. To being late on various other things. On this, despite the fact they said, we'll give you warning about Tuesday, 4 a.m, then that's it. You have to quarantine. It do it. Ian, what do you make of this, you know, the whole system, like Jackie says, even having been clearer from the start? Because it's hard, isn't it? People look forward to holidays. They've pinned their hopes on it. They've booked them to either have it snatched away from them or to mean that it's going to be so much more difficult for them to come back. It's difficult. Down to your boss now and say, oh, you know, I've got a week's holiday and sorry, I'm not going to be in for 10 days countries. But actually, it's difficult if you've already got one booked, isn't it? That's what they are sort of wanting to make sure that they prioritise, that they can lift the restrictions in the way that they're hoping everybody wants. I know.
Charlotte,
when you were there, seeing...
It most certainly is. Hiya.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. It's just gone 6:30. Welcome to the programme, especially if you're watching, let's say, online from Portugal. Maybe Lagos, Praia da Luz, around there, and you're just thinking, what happened? We came out there on holiday, everything was arranged, we didn't have to go back to quarantine, and now what do we do?
And for those people as well who are planning a trip, who are about to set off on Saturday because the quarantine scramble is
strange and odd.
And I think, you know, the thing is that we thought, didn't we, from that if changes were going to be made, there'd be a bit more warning this time because it was very disruptive last time.
No, that we were talking about the 21st of June and the impact that will have on people if that isn't Freedom Day, because my son is due to get married on the 26th, so they cancelled it last year. After the show yesterday, when we were predicting that Portugal was going to move off the green and go on to the amber, came off air. I didn't know this. My son called me and said, guess where we booked for our honeymoon yesterday?
Oh, no.
Yep, Portugal. And risk, well, not risk, but then have to come onto quarantine when we get back. And the Portuguese are saying, we don't understand this. We simply comparing our figures.
Some of our figures, actually, in some parts of the country are actually worse than theirs. So Grant Shapps, the Transport Minister, had said it was due to the positivity rate nearly doubling since the last review in Portugal, and also the Nepal mutation. They don't know the potential at the moment for that to be vaccine defeating. So although we can, you know, say, look at how well we're doing with the vaccine, we've got double the population now, haven't we?
Yep, absolutely.
Being, 50% of the vaccine, which is great news, but there's still that sort of unknown factor around the variation.
Why don't we ask the doctor? Hello, doctor.
Let's do that.
Go on, then.
On the subject of this, the sea shanty, because you heard a quick blast of it, didn't you, when we opened at 6:30 this morning. But let's have another, because it's encouraging people to take the vaccine. Have
chosen not to have it, and we had a survey yesterday that showed that 1 in 5 kids, basically, from 21 to 30, aren't going to have it. I'm astonished by that, because it seems to me, maybe it's just me being an old fart, but it seems to me to be completely illogical. To say no to Mr. Burns now from The Simpsons. Marge in The Simpsons, many years ago, does a portrait of Mr. Burns. Do you remember it? He's naked. And I don't hate this. And that leads me neatly to this Italian sculptor.
Yes.
We have an Italian sculptor who's unveiled his latest sculpture.
It's quite an intriguing
It's invisible.
Art. It is. I mean, so...
I hate that.
Although, you know, on the plus side, I guess it's quite easy to recreate.
Well, funny you should say that, Charlotte.
There's nothing there. Why would you... Can you get inside the guy's head? Not the sculptor. Good for him. He's just made 13 grand for this. It's a personalised BAFTA. Last night for our performance on the show yesterday.
Congratulations.
You wouldn't know it's for you.
Oh, honoured. I'm absolutely honoured. I'm sure I can find space on my mantelpiece. Yes, because that's what we're going to be talking about later. It's our debate this morning. There are an increasing number of councils who are banning smoking in public places such as outside cafes, bars, restaurants. And there's a feeling that
coming up to 12.
Let's have and go. Get online, see what we say, Steve X.